Today's video, I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. And today's video is going to be Sunday Sermon Part 2. Yes, Sunday Sermon Part 2. Now, the first one, I was kind of like, kind of like in my emotions, not in a bad way. I just wanted to express and explain some things. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, this part of the Sunday sermon video, I'm gonna talk more about the spiritual aspect. Like I was saying, I'm gonna talk about some chemistry. Oh, sorry, I got chicken in my teeth. My bad. I'm gonna talk about chemistry, some physics, metaphysics, stuff like that. Some spiritual stuff, in this particular video. But I'm gonna actually roll up in this video as well. This gonna be wake and bake Sunday sermon, smoke too. Like I said, I'm gonna do my shout outs again. This is Quiet Kings. Shout out to TrapCon. Shout out to my bait Jocelyn. You see what I'm saying? This is Duchess. It's a leaf. You see what I'm saying? Roll up in a leaf. You know, black and mild, wood tip, high quality cigar. Cheap but high quality cigar. You know what I'm saying? And also early time whiskey, Kentucky whiskey. This is the good shit. Like I said, you see it in the other video when you see it, but I'm gonna say it again. I just started drinking whiskey a couple days ago, and I've been doing research on it. I didn't know whiskey was that precious. I mean, I know alcohol is precious, but whiskey is really, really precious. You gotta age it in an oak tree, like in oak wood. It has to be aged in oak wood. Like I'm still learning about that. I'm gonna actually get into that. That's another venture that I want to get into. You know what I'm saying? Like in the near future. Once I start to get my shit together in certain aspects, is other business ventures I want to get into. Like I want to make my own alcohol brand, and I also want to get a liquor license so I can buy and sell alcohol. That's gonna be another little side hustle I do. And then that's another thing too I want to talk about. Like everybody, I get that so much all the time. People try to say, "I thought you was just some type of thug. I thought you was like an uncommon thug or some shit like that." And in aspects, I am. You know what I'm saying? Just being raised in that type of environment, being around that shit for a long time. But at the same time, how we say it in Chicago, it don't matter what type of gang you is or whatever you think you is, whatever. At the end of the day, you a man before you anything. You see what I'm saying? So before you this and before you that and before you throw this up, before you throw that up, you are a man at the end of the day. So you could try to say I'm a thug and all this. So you might have thought that I'm a man at the end of the day. I'm still gonna do manly things at the end of the day because I'm still a human. You see what I'm saying? I'm a man at the end of the day. So you a man before you anything. And any real Chicago nigga have heard that. They will tell you that that's real respect. I'm a real Don. You see what I'm saying? Like only a real Don will tell you something like that. So you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can think what you want, but I'm a man at the end of the day. And as a man, you more than just some type of thug. You more than just a gang member. You more than the labels that they try to put on you. We more than that. You see what I'm saying? We better than that, And people still gonna throw up their hood and rep their set and all that, and that's cool. This is America. You can do that. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, niggas is not just repping their hood and throwing up their set. Niggas out there, self-employed, hustling, grinding. If you gotta work a job too, that's cool too. That's still money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do what you gotta do because you a man at the end of the day. So you can look at me and all this type of stuff, but I'm very business savvy. I'm highly intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Been to the military. I also been in AmeriCorps in Triple C, which is just as prestigious as the military. And we work right next to FEMA Corps and all that type of shit like that and stuff like that. So I got some experience and I'm not just like a thug. You see what I'm saying? Like I have experience. Like I'm highly intelligent. You know what I'm saying? I love business. I want to start my own business, my own businesses. You know what I'm saying? But it all starts, small and you work your way up. Like that's the best way I can explain it. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I'm not just some thug. But just because I'm smart and all that shit and I'm intelligent don't mean I won't whoop your ass if I have to. But just because I can fight and just because um, I've been to the military and all that shit. I know how to shoot a gun and all that shit. And I knew how to shoot a gun before I went to the military. But I'm just saying, just because I know how to do those things, don't mean that I have to just go bully some random motherfucker, whoop their ass, and try to shoot them for no reason. But if my life is threatened or somebody try to put their hands on me, which is still basically like a threat, then yeah, I get every right to defend myself. You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference. It's a big difference. But yeah, man, I'm more than just that. Like I'm actually a businessman. I'm intelligent. Every human being on this planet, regardless of where they came from, what circumstances they grew up in, or even what situation they may be in right now, you have some type of God given talent, some type of ability, whether you know it or whether you don't know it. The only thing is you have to tap into it and harness it. You see what I'm saying? To make it better. That's basically the only shit you can do. You see what I'm saying? Is to harness that ability and you see it and make it better. But I'm gonna start rolling this shit up real quick. I just wanted to explain that. You know what I'm saying? For the people that don't know that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to basically explain that. Because a lot of people would just think that, like, you're just some thug because you're from here and all that shit. And then another thing, too, I want to say is you gotta remember, I'm a YouTuber. I do music too and all that shit. People try to say rapper and all that shit, but I don't even know. I guess you could just call me an influencer. You see what I'm saying? Or a social media personality or presence. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just because I come from the hood and all that shit, I can still put on like a hood act. It's not necessarily an act because I actually been there. I know how to, you know what I'm saying, do the voice and all that shit. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not necessarily in the hood right now, so it's just like, I'm a, walk with my chest out and all that because that's how I really walk. I'm really one of those dudes, but just because I'm really one of those dudes don't mean I have to be a bully and walk around like I'm the toughest guy. Like that's not even me anyway. Even though that's me, that's not me. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? Because it's more than just being a tough guy. Like it's more that it's way more aspects that make up a man than just all these physical qualities. Like, oh yeah, I'm the toughest and all that shit. Like, come on, bro. And that's another thing too. Like even Faison Love even said that. Shout out to Faison Love. That's the dude. He played Big Worm and Friday. You see what I'm saying? His real name is Faison Love, but I'm just telling you for the people who may not know, who only remember him as Big Worm. That's the dude. He even said it. Stop letting people's size and how people look fool you. That doesn't mean anything. Like Faison Love and Chris Tucker, the one who did Rush Hour, they used to get thrown out of clubs and thrown in jail a lot because they used to beat up the security guards because Chris Tucker really knows kung fu. But they think because Chris Tucker all skinny and shit like that, just like me, they think that don't mean shit. Just because you skinny, that's just my anatomy. That's just how my body is built naturally. But I'm one of those skinny buff motherfuckers, like, you know what I'm saying, six pack and all that shit. I might not have the Arnold Schwarzenegger muscles, but I most definitely still have grown man strength. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, I do need to get in the gym. It's been a minute, but don't let that shit fool you. I'm most definitely athletic. Most definitely can still move around and jump and all that shit. I just choose not to. You see what I'm saying? I'm just on some chill, cool shit. But I can do that shit too. I'm just saying. Just to explain that too. But let me roll this shit up. But yeah, hell yeah, that's the shit I'm on, man. I'm trying to move up in the world. And that's the thing though. You gotta start from somewhere. That's the shit that people don't want to hear. You have to start from somewhere. Even if you started in a goddamn dog kennel that still started from somewhere. I'm rolling up right now. Well, I'm breaking the weed down. So if it look like I got my head down, I do, but I don't. Cause I'm trying to make sure I don't mess nothing up. But yeah, man, UFOs and aliens and shit, bro. That shit real. You see what I'm saying? And I know it's real because I've seen it for myself. You see what I'm saying? Like in the military, I seen it, and also I seen it as being a regular civilian. I've seen a few UFOs. I seen one when I was in Australia, and the crazy thing about it, my ex girlfriend, she was with me. We're talking about the Australian girl. She was with me that night. We seen a UFO. You see what I'm saying? So I had a witness with me who seen it, and then I've seen plenty of UFOs when I've just been by myself. But the thing is that shout out to George Knapp. He's a UFO researcher investigator. He's also a part of Congress. You see what I'm saying? He um, he been talking about this for the last 30, 40, 50 years, and now he's able to actually now come out and explain about it a little bit more, because you got to remember he's already been a UFO insider. They call it UAPs now. He already been a UFO insider, for a long time, but it's only so much information back then they knew compared to now, the information that they actually know to be a fact. And a lot of the UFOs that you do see, some of them are from alien origin, and some of them are not. Some are spacecrafts that have been reverse engineered by some of the best engineers and scientists that we have here on planet Earth. And they took the spacecraft and just reverse engineered it. So it's basically like an Earthland spacecraft, but it's reverse engineered from alien technology, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why this is important is because everybody want to know what we moving into next. You're talking about as in society, right? In society, we are moving into that world of AI. You see what I'm saying? And we started to get into, some people already got it, depending on how much money you got and shit like that. Like I said, depending on how much money and shit you got, you already got access to like the smart house technology and all that shit. But shout out to Brandon Johnson. That's why Brandon Johnson. That's why Gavin Newsom and the mayor of New York. I think his name something Milani or something like that. Shout out to Eric Adams and shit like that. He was cool, but Eric Adams he knows about this because he was working on this before he got out of office. But all of the mayors of the major big cities, they're gonna be the ones who actually start this whole trend. And then the rest of the other states are gonna follow. But it's gonna start here in California first because that's where I'm at. I'm in California. It's gonna start. I'm from Chicago, but I'm in California. It's gonna start in California first, and they gonna do the smart house technology where they gonna rebuild all the houses and shit, and it's gonna have the smart AI technology built into it. So you gonna have a smart house. You say, hey, house, turn the lights on in all the rooms, and them motherfuckers gonna do it. Or, hey, house, do this, blah 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 blah, and it's gonna do it because it's gonna be a smart house. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna start in California first, but that's what Brandon Johnson trying to do in Chicago. That's why he keep trying to raise the property tax because he's trying to do the smart house shit. But people in Chicago, they not on that level yet because they on that mafia shit. They want to keep it how it's always been type of thing. But that's what Brandon Johnson's trying to do. He's trying to take it to the next level. You see what I'm saying? And they're gonna do this. They're gonna end up doing the same thing in New York as well. They're gonna end up doing the same shit in New York too. But Gavin Newsom is gonna be the one who's gonna actually start the trend. And the reason why they're doing it in California first is because they're gonna have the Olympics. I think it's the Olympics. What's coming up in what 2028? Yeah, I think it's coming up in 2028, and that's what it's gonna be. A lot of AI technology stuff there too. So that's kind of to be kind of like merged with that. But the real reason why we're getting into this whole AI revolution and shit is because, and the real reason why aliens and all that shit plays a big part in all of this is because a lot of the technology is from those aliens. You see what I'm saying? That's why Donald Trump is trying to actually put this information out now to desensitize a lot of people to what's really going on. Because once we hit this certain time point or time stamp in real life, the technology is going to expand so fast. You're going to wake up, walk outside, and shit going to be completely different, literally. And you can be like, where the fuck did shit come from? But you've been so lost in the matrix, you haven't been paying attention to what's going on. See, Trump is trying to beat Russia and China to disclosing the alien information, and if not, uh, working with aliens to actually help us to merge into space so we can actually expand humanity into space so we can take over more planets and shit. That's the truth. This is the real truth. This is from actual classified documents. I can't tell you too much, but I can give you a little hint. That's why I'm telling you this is the shit that Trump doing this and doing that. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what we're trying to do. Because we don't know if Russia and China is actually trying to kill the aliens and take their technology so they could try to take over space for themselves. Even though they still humanity, they just each country got their own little agenda of what they want to do. But Trump would be the best catalyst because he like the lesser of the evils. He actually want to work with the aliens to help us merge our technology so we can harness the power of technology so we can expand humanity into outer space. That's what's really going on. You see, we already got astronauts and shit that's already out there. A couple days ago, I seen a video where they said it's a group of astronauts. They just reached one of the farthest parts in space that humanity has ever reached. So these are the first group of humans to get that far into outer space. This shit is real. You see what I'm saying? And it's gonna keep happening that way. That's why Trump would be the best catalyst because we're trying to beat the Russians and China because we're trying to actually work with aliens, not work against them, not kill them and take their technology because we don't know if Russia's gonna do that. So that's why all this stuff is happening like this. That's why everybody talking about aliens and all that shit because this is where we're headed to. You know, this is where we're headed to. And the funny thing is, it sounds so crazy to people who don't know nothing. If you ignorant and you don't know nothing, of course it's gonna sound crazy. You see what I'm saying? Even if you're not ignorant and you know some stuff, you don't know everything. Especially if you don't have a high secret security clearance like I've had, and you can read these documents. But when you're on certain levels, certain ranks and certain commissioned officers have certain ranks. So a person that was ranked higher than me, they gonna get more of classified files that I didn't get to see. But since I was on a certain security clearance, I could see the first couple pages of certain files. You see what I'm saying? But I got to stop here because they took the rest of the files out. You only can read up to here, and whatever your mind could come up with, there you go. But then when you got the next commissioned officer and then the next higher officer and all that, they could read all the extra good shit that most people can't. Why you think the Air Force officer that they said that's been missing for a while? Why you think he gone missing? They said he on the run, or he could be on the run, or he could have actually got kidnapped by somebody. I hate to say it like that, but he Air Force. A lot of people think Air Force is soft, but really most definitely really not. These are the people that make bombs and drop bombs on people. Most definitely not soft. You see what I'm saying? But um, but yeah, he trying to lay low because of the information that he does know, and he could have gotten threats from Russia and all that shit too to not release certain shit. So it's a lot of crazy shit that's going on though. And I know I said this supposed to be like a little wake and bake or whatever, but shit, I've been on this motherfucker talking. But I did pearl this motherfucker though. And then I might just make a third video just for the fuck of it and shit like that. Just because I feel good. Shit. But yeah, man, wake the damn up. More videos coming soon.